This may be the last time my voice is heard.
Did I get this right? You were in the middle of nowhere in the US recently?
I was in the very cold state of Wisconsin at Raven Software to look at some games, but I survived and now I'm back to tell you all about it.
Katorga 12. It's a Cold War hotspot. The last thing we need right now is another Chernobyl.
Singularity. You've obviously been to see it. What's your initial thoughts on that game?
It looks like a quite interesting game actually. It's called by Raven a thinking man shooter, and it looks kind of like Metroid Prime. Of course you have a gun and you also have a time handling device, but you also get the opportunity to solve a couple of puzzles and think.
I think gamers are a little bit allergic to that time element. We've been burnt a few times in games like Blinks and Time Shift. How is it different this time around?
Well, I'm hoping it will be different, that it will be actually good. From what I've seen, it's kind of promising. You got this device, it's called a TMD. It's a time-altering device of sorts, and you can use it both on things and on people. So if you see a bad guy, a Soviet soldier, you can use this thing on him and age him, so he'll become a skeleton, or just make him younger, and then all his cells will turn into a sort of mush. And that's kind of cool, actually. And of course you got weapons as well. You can shoot them in the head if you want.
Is it just like a different way of killing someone, or does it have any uses other than just being a nice graphical effect?
Well, it's fun, first of all, and you need variety in a game like this, I think. But the most interesting part about this TMD, this time-changing device, is the puzzles. For instance, I saw a part of the game when I came to this gate that was locked, and I was in the present, well, the near present, 2010, and I couldn't get into this gate. But behind the gate there was a big old oil drum of sorts. So I used my TMD on that one, and it became sparkling new. Back in the 50s, it's red, it says CCCP on it, a communist explosive barrel that I shot, and the gate opened.
So that sounds useful and weird, and how, well, that takes us to something of the setting. You mentioned CCCP. What's going on in Singularity?
Well, the main character, Nate Renko is called, he discovers this factory in the present, well, 2010. And back in the 50s, the Soviets were doing experiments there, and it has generated all these time portals, and he leaps back and forth from the 50s to 2010. And his mission is basically to get to grips with this and fight a lot of Soviets along the way.
All right, sounds like your average FPS experience, your typical. But obviously you're excited about it. So what part of that is it that you feel like it's not just another shooter from Raven?
Well, it's just that the different pacing, the different changes of tempo in the game are actually really good. And at one moment in the game I came past this bridge, and I knew that this bridge should be collapsed, but back in the 50s. And then when I destroyed it again, it came back to life. It was whole again. So I stopped thinking, when did this break, and was it because of me, or did time, adjust itself? So there's a lot of those mind fucks almost.
Well, that certainly sounds like a thinking man's first-person shooter. So I'd like to thank you for your time.